not where I originally was going to be.
Okay.
And that's exactly where I was going to be, was right behind Diamond Dallas Page.
Okay.
And I said, "Oh my God, this is perfect." I'm going.
It happens. I mean, we sat next to at Legends of the Ring one year. We sat next to Alberto Del Rio and Ricardo Rodriguez, and it didn't really do anything for us. So.
Oh, was that at the big event I had a shot at?
No, that was at Legends.
I didn't know Del Rio did Legends.
Yeah, I think it was right after he was released, right? Yeah, it was right after he was released, it was right after Ricardo Rodriguez got fired. Yeah, it was right after Ricardo Rodriguez got released. Del Rio was still with WWE.
No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
Okay.
He wasn't.
I don't know. I thought he was.
He wasn't.
So this had to be 2013? 14. 2014. Yeah.
It has to be 2014 at least. But again, my whole beef was now. People were saying that there were too many people. Well, there's 80 some odd talents there, and I think, for me personally, that there should be. Look, nobody's telling you who you can and cannot book. But again, I go back to the point: you put a glorified Hall of Famer in a side room over a Dalton Castle, who no one gives a shit about. Excuse my language. Bill Apter, who's at every convention, and 4 Lucha Underground girls. Not, I get it, but I don't get it.
I can't disagree. I mean, it'd be crazy if I disagreed here. I can't. I mean, I think you got a good gripe, but there's 2 people that you need to go to and talk to.
I've said my gripe and say to both of them, and they know how I felt about that. Mm-hmm. And had it just been one and done for me that weekend, I would have taken a very big loss.
Right. Well,
but
you had a nice itinerary planned out, like we said. You went to Warriors of Wrestling. You did the pre-show and the intermission, and had some of your talent involved in matches.
Yes, and that, I must say, was the best Warriors of Wrestling crowd I have ever been a part of, financially, with a talent. But there was a solid 200 people there, and the money was flying around like crazy.
Rich, I couldn't agree with you more. We walked in just before intermission, and Jonathan and I had looked at each other, and we were like, "This is absolutely insane."
I bet you. I'm not even gonna. I'm not. You don't even have to say anything about finances. Mm-hmm. I bet you did better in Staten Island than you did in Rahway.
With the Killer Bees?
Well, with just anybody.
No. Definitely not.
We were only there for 20 minutes.
Yeah, we were only in Staten Island for 20 minutes.
What?
We did not.
Because I've heard through the grapevine that people did not make any money in Rahway.
That's definitely not true. I can tell you.
We did well.
I can tell you right now that Bob Orton absolutely killed it.
One out of 25, 30 talents that was there.
The Killer Bees made their money while they were there, but they weren't there for the whole 2-hour pre-show. They left a little early to go to Staten Island. Bob was only there for an hour and 20 minutes, and he went to UWA Elite. But even when he came back, he got back just in time for intermission. He still signed during intermission.
Eric Young too.
Eric Young did good, but I think he did better he did way better in Allentown. He did awesome in Allentown. But Bob Orton killed it. I mean, wherever we had him that weekend, he absolutely had a nonstop line that it was just crazy. And the Killer Bees had a good flow. A lot of them, I would have to say that more was for Jim Brunzell than from Brian Blair. And Allentown was more of the combos than the individuals. But they did well. Eric Young did okay in Rahway.
Yeah.
But people were happy to see. A lot of people were happy to see. Amber O'Neal did well too. Barbie didn't do really well at all. But I'll have to say that Amber did well, and she probably would have did a lot better if she actually would have been on time. She showed up with 10 minutes left in the pre-show, and she missed more than 2/3 of intermission. So who knows what she would have did, because she was killing it when she finally got there. I had to get her to stop talking to people, carrying on conversations with people, because I'm like, hun, there's a line of people and they want to go back and watch the show. I'm like, you got to stop talking.
Yeah.
So
I don't deal with those sort of girls. Like, yeah, I mean, I don't know how you do that, but it's more power.
It's a good mix. You bring in the veterans, and then you bring in the current indie talent. Whether it's male or female, it's a great mix. Let me tell you, as soon as I brought them to the hotel, 20 minutes later, bro, they were all sitting at the bar drinking together. It's like they knew each other for years. They just clicked.
It's good. That's a good thing.
I love that. I rather do one of these shows, break even, and say that I had a hell of a time, and every single one of the talents I brought in was professional, and I have a long-standing relationship with them, than to make money and have the most miserable time because it was just those people just so asinine and whatever attitude they had. And some of them do. Some of them have attitude. Some of them are just, they feel like they're doing you a favor even though you're paying them. I don't care. If I make money and I'm having a bad time, then I don't need it. I'd rather know that when I left there, those people thought I was professional. I thought they were professional. And anytime I give them a call, they'll do me a favor.
Right, of course.
But that doesn't always happen that way. You know that.
Of course. That just goes that that's the nature of the beast.
Yeah, you get a couple rotten apples here.
Here and there, but for the most part, everybody I work with is just so down to earth and so professional, and for the most part, and I can't thank them. I can't thank the group of talent that I had enough for what they did for me. And I actually, one of my talents, I'm not gonna mention who, was actually kind of nervous for me because you could take your pick on who it was. She actually went and said, I really felt bad for you after the convention because that wasn't right what they did to you. I'm like, look, I mean, what am I? And then I said to her, I said, that at the end of the day, what could I do?
Right.
There's only so much that I could do. I was sweating a little bit. I'm not even gonna lie. After the big event, I was sweating a little bit.
Well, of course, you had Joe sitting next to you, threatening you with your life.
He knows that wasn't my fault.
Yeah, I know, but it's just Joe.
Yeah. He definitely knows it. But, I mean, getting back to WoW a minute, I mean, I've never seen a spending crowd at Warriors of Wrestling like that. And I've been working with Joe now. In May, it'll be 3 years. Jesus Christ, he's put up with me for that long?
Apparently.
Apparently. But, I mean, we've got so many good things coming up. And the crowd was high all night. There was a solid 200 people were there. They were spending money. I killed it. I killed it in Staten Island.
That's good.
I definitely did good there, and I chipped away, and I went into Allentown, and I just cleaned up in Allentown. I didn't think Allentown. I thought Allentown was going to be good, but I didn't think it was going to be as good as I thought it was.
I was very surprised.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised with Allentown.
The crowd in Allentown was absolutely phenomenal.
I went there a couple times, heard a couple stories. I was very nervous going in, especially with this time 7 people. But I obviously have to say it was well organized, and we did very well there. Thank God we did very well there. And, it was a nice little ride, and, especially after it was over, everybody knew they were going to the airport, so we kind of got to reminisce about the weekend and hear everybody, talk about what a good time they had and things like that, and, then you drop them off and you say goodbye, and it's like, oh, man, I wish there was about 2 days left on this weekend. We could have, hung out more.
Yeah, I mean, I got home. I had gotten rid of. I let one of somebody else that was at Bud's drive Orndorff back to the airport for me because I had to stay there and take care of some other business.
Mm-hmm.
This that I had to square up with, and I tell you, I left Allentown at 2:45, and I didn't get in my house until almost 8:00.
Yeah, that's about us too. We dropped everybody off at the airport at 6:30.
Everybody flew out of Newark on your end?
Yeah, I got all of them arriving within 2 hours of each other, and all of them leaving within 2 hours of each other. So
that's good.
I got there early. We were willing to take the other ones, to go grab something to eat and kill time, but they were like, don't worry about it. We got books, we got computers. We'll just go hang out in the airport. I was like, all right. So
it's better for you. You can go right home.
Yeah, I went home and had to pick up my girlfriend so she could follow us back to the place to drop the van off, and she can drive us home. So we still had that one more stop, drop the van off.
Oh yeah.
So it's
and food,
and we had to get food. Yeah, we were dying, but it was.
I couldn't wait to get it.
I
couldn't wait to get in my house and get
Where'd we
some
go
food
to
in my house. I was starving.
Oh yeah, that's right. We went to yesterday's Italian restaurant in Hazlitt near my house, and I just pigged out on all you can eat mussels.
I hear that. But overall, I will say, despite my seating at the convention, everything was great, and it was extremely successful. Mm-hmm. I couldn't have been more happier because I went from turning in a very large loss into a profitable gain for the weekend. So overall, I couldn't have been more happier.
And it's funny how that works out. You're banking on the big event, and that's not the one that you wound up cashing in on. It's the one that you were nervous about.
Yeah, at the end of the show, I was so nervous. I mean, you've seen the look on my face. The look on my face was I couldn't wait to get the hell out of there.
And all look was, man, I wish we could get another hour of this, a big event with this crowd, but it started thinning out. So we were like, enough's enough. We're out of here. We need to go get some food.
Yeah, I mean, then you had I'm sure you saw the post the other day with all those friggin' idiots looking for fucking free rides.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, we had a problem with a certain troll that I won't give him his 3 minutes of publicity on the show that said that we overcharged for the Killer Bees at $20 a photo and at $20 a photo op. So he claims that he got their autograph for half that couple years ago at Legends, and then I called him out on it, and I said, sorry, buddy, but the only one that was at Legends 2 years ago was Brian Blair. I said, Brunzell hasn't been to a Legends show since 2008. So, of course, he backtracked and tried to tear us down, make us look bad, but he's a jackass.
Yeah, I can't stand people like that, and people, especially after the whole hallway incident where people are
trying to get the freebies.
Yeah.
Mooch from MZ Promotions had a similar problem. The Godfather was at the bar just grabbing a drink, and a kid ran over and got a free autograph on a figure, and then the jackass has the nerve to post it in a sales room that we're all a part of. So how did he think he wasn't going to find out where the autograph came from? So that annoyed me. And I'm going to have to say this. I have no problem hooking up promoters with autographs and stuff like that. They always reciprocate. I have no problem with that.